Back to good old Tetrio, baby. Bruh, oh, Froki isn't working. I have to fix that. I'm so stupid. I messed up the colors on the mixer. So I muted audio when there's nothing to fucking mute. Well, what's up everyone who's coming in here? How's it going? I wanted to go live because I have an opportunity to, and some stuff happened in Classic Tetris World that I kinda feel like talking about. Because it can indirectly relate to a thing that I recently had to deal with. And I think it would be interesting to speak about. Dude, oh my lord, okay. My computer, I'll probably have to upgrade it soon. Is what this game is teaching me. Well, if I want to keep streaming Tetria, that is. Because as you can see, there's no music playing from YouTube Music. That is because Tetrio uses 60% of my CPU whenever I play it. Okay. Since everyone here is silent, I guess I can just start talking. So, because I don't even know if anyone can hear me right now. That's actually the crazy thing. Okay, it works. I don't know why, but I lost all capability to remember how to use like my audio mixer. I forgot the colors. The LED indicators are very important for this thing. Get over there. Okay. So for those of you who may or may not have heard, there's some classic Tetris stuff that went down. It was either yesterday or the day before. Thank you, Moose. Thank you, Moose, for giving me a good segue into my topic of what I wanted to talk about today. So there's this company called WADA. And their premise is like grading video games. So you know, like Pokemon cards get graded and all that, and you can like send a Pokemon card in, and then, or just like any form of like trading card. You know the deal. WADA was just a company that very simply did that for video games. That's their business. The problem lies in their business practices. Basically, you know, we do a little market manipulation. Mr. Krebs, laugh, EdgeTE. You get the deal. But yeah, apparently it is a thing. They do it for like classic games and all that. And they sponsored the CTWC for, or I guess let me rephrase myself. They did sponsor the CTWC for this year. But as I just talked about, they kind of have like a history of malpractice. They're basically like literally, as we speak, they are in progress with a lawsuit for fraud. Which ain't too good of a look, especially if, you know, you're going to be doing paid marketing for that company. And you're also the largest backbone for paid deals in an entire esport. Classic Tetris at this point is the backbone for any form of Tetris sponsorship. If they fuck up, they make everything look bad, even for modern. Because we still have not hit that level of disassociation yet. At least to a brand. So, immediately upon posting this tweet, immediately upon Classic Tetris posting their tweet, oh, I'm still U-rank, thank fucking God. Alright. But yeah. Immediately upon posting his tweet, they get a lot of backlash. The person who I know the most, who was vocal against CTWC, was a good pal of mine in the Puzzle Kingdom, Ziplet, an administrator at Puyo GB. Puyo GB, I think, is kind of like another kind of important puzzle game organization. They're kind of under the radar, but Puyo GB is important in the fact that they're basically the PPT community's only Sega plug. Because they have Sega people who, like, pay attention to them. Why did I play Tetsuya? I should play TEC Classic Score Attack just for the effect. But we had this situation on our hands here, and what do the wise fellows at CTWC Inc. decide is the best way to respond to initial backlash on their new brand partnership? They decide to delete their post and fucking they repost it. I think they reposted it not once but twice. That's rumor though. I know they at least reposted it one time. And my fellow chums, if you get backlash for partnering with a company, your first instinct should not be delete the tweet and repost it because they won't pay attention now. If you partner with a company and you're getting shit, you are under scrutiny. I guess that's true. I did not know that, T-Flat. They untagged the PRG, but they were doubling down. They were holding firm. And well, guess what, Fox? It did only make the backlash worse because people noticed. And it's just like, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this entire thing, even though not directly related, kind of hit a little bit close to home. Because as you guys know, I had to deal with my own controversy just a few weeks ago. It was definitely of a higher magnitude than what we're talking about, but it still has to do with PR. And I just could not help but, you know, acknowledge how poorly this was handled. And how poorly it's still being handled. It's still being handled poorly, and I'll tell you why. In like a bit once I get to it. But so as of right now, we're in the story where they just repost their tweet. Then, you know, Ziplet, who initially posted this criticism, notices, and what happens to Ziplet upon reposting their initial statement about WADA being a company that's being accused for fraud? They decide at CTWC Inc. that they should have their reply hidden. They hide Ziplet's reply, and they block Ziplet. I've also seen reports that they unfollowed accounts that criticize them. When the criticism is entirely fair in this situation, it's not just like whistleblowing. And you know, they really did try to double down. But then, you know, stuff spread into the Discord. What's up, Zinzi? Now watch me whip. Kill it. Now watch me nay. Okay. Now watch me whip. Watch me nay. Why me do it? Like, people were basically kind of clowning on CTWC in their Discord. Like, people were making jokes about getting banned from the live event if they said anything negative about WADA. And I think that it was, and also their own staff members spoke out in the Discord saying how they did not support this partnership, and that some people felt that they'd be forced to quit if they kept the deal. And only at that point did we have like CTWC staff come out and say, "All right, everyone," and this is only in the Discord, by the way. They're like, "All right, everyone, we want to learn more about this situation. We want to educate ourselves. Please give us some time, but we want to make the right response now. So please just bear with us, you know, just some nice humble jargon. What ends up happening is, you know, they give themselves a few hours. People talk about more in their Discord, and they're like, all right, guys, we have terminated the sponsorship with WADA. Thank you for informing us. Now, at this point, you're probably thinking like, all right, great. They listened to the community. Good shit, CTWC, for rectifying your mistake. We have another problem. The problem is, most hell about this was raised on Twitter.com, my friends. And guess what platform they did not post an update on? Well, their Twitter has been radio silent, pretty much, except for posting like 1 or 2 Twitch clips since this failed announcement. They have not tried to do anything ever since. And do they plan on posting an update? Probably not. And that's where my problem comes in with how they're handling this. Because as you guys know, I had to deal with a thing. You know, I had to do instant response a few weeks ago. And the one thing that I was getting shit for the most was that I was not fast enough to provide updates on my Twitter account. That is the one thing I got smoke blown up my ass for the most about my situation that I had to deal with. And seeing someone like 2 weeks later who honestly their actions have a lot more implications than mine do in the grand scheme of puzzle gaming, they're not doing this is kind of appalling. And I'm just like, bruh. Is this their first time dealing with drama? Well, God, I'd hope not. Actually, at the same time that I'd hope not, I'd actually hope so. Because of how long their event's been running. If this happens to be the first time that they've received pushback for anything, I'd kind of be proud of them, but also, like, shit. You know? But I think CTWC has probably dealt with drama before. They just have had leverage of not needing to go public about, like, ban disclosures. Because they kind of have the hierarchy on the tippity top of the entire classic scene. Whereas their judgment is most likely unanimously respected. Whereas kind of in the... in the modern Tetris community, there's always a speculator. Which is for better and for worse. I'll just admit that right now. Like, there are positives and negatives. But... The main thing to take away here is that, like... I think they might want to be a bit more receptive in the future of what actually needs PR in terms of their difficult decisions. I'll just say it, there was I'll be as vague as possible while also just, you know, referring to what I'm saying. I had to deal with an incident report regarding an Advent Link player, which turned out to have skewed information. And allegations in this report were serious to the point of permanent bans. But of course, since details in the situation were different than what were initially presented, we needed to update, you know, our stances. And, you know, there you go. That happened. You know, I did things the best I could. This was basically my first time solo handling an incident. Happening right after I kind of assumed basically sole PK leadership. I will say, I haven't talked about this much publicly, but that was very difficult. It was a great learning experience, I'll say, and I hate to call it that, but I did learn a lot as a result of it, but it was also just fucking difficult. And it's just like, I kind of was hoping throughout this entire WADA thing that, you know, CTWC Inc. would be kind of more in tune and more receptive to attempting public PR. Because for anyone who doesn't know, most of you probably don't know, the CTWC has an official Discord server. Why you wouldn't know? They don't advertise it anyway. It's just a thing that you had to crawl for. I could not find an invite to the CTWC Discord server, and I had been searching for several months until like 3 days ago. I have actively had to hunt for an invite of their Discord for several months, and have only just recently found it. I first tried in May. And I don't know if this is a fault of me, like, not looking hard enough, but just through my own efforts, and I tried pretty hard to look for it, I couldn't find it. Let's get clear. I don't want to turn this into, like, a hate party on the CTWC. Their event is, like, still going to be one of the most widely respected in Tetris history. They laid the groundwork for what we're trying to do now. And, like, providing examples of how to market puzzle games as esports, right? But I also think they should be held accountable. Just how I was held accountable for Advent League. And they did get held accountable to a certain extent, but people who deserve, like, words are not getting them. Like, the announcement about the reversal of the sponsorship is basically in a 900-person echo chamber when the CTWC has like a 250,000 person social media following combined. And it's only being talked about in this like echo chamber of nearly 1,000 people. Like 0.5% of their audience is aware of this happening. So I just like, I don't know. My main point of this is I kind of thought it was interesting to talk about as our scene continues to grow into a place where we're more oriented to taking sponsors. And I just want to come out here and say, like, if there are problems that people have with brands or whatever, like, I'm not like gonna be that guy or anything. Well, Obama, they're doing DPC. Yeah, Qualo was a thing. Difference with Qualo is that, like, they tried to run their own thing. Or at least what ended up happening was they ran their own thing without, you know, running a marketing campaign through an existing, like, force. They probably tried to reach out to people. Yeah. Did they actually promote Qualo and MMC? That's fucking funny, dude. Cause I don't know how that slipped through the cracks. To explain, I didn't directly explain. There's a video that someone in chat might be able to link. Basically, WADA is a company that is, like, currently actively being sued for fraud, and it's had, like, documentaries made on them about how they are fraudulent. Like, as I said, as of right now, they are in court. Those are kind of goated. Dude, this fucking sucks. But yeah, some of you may be familiar with it because these videos went kind of viral. And what also made me, like, kind of weird about this is, like, how much background checking does the CTWC do on their partners? Because I clearly don't think it's enough based on what happened. I feel like sometimes, you know, they are the best off in Tetris Esports, but, you know, we all like dinero, right? So, I think this is going to lead me into talking about something else that I kind of had to personally deal with the classic scene. So, I guess the first thing I'll say is like I think the classic scene does they like their money because they're used to like it being had. Which just makes sense. And I feel like because of, you know, the CTWC got very lucky in the early days, you know, they found good partners. Like, I think some of their first ones were like Ting, you know, like the mobile carrier thing that every YouTuber is getting sponsored with, and all of that. That I think they might be a bit too lax on like, and again, anything that I say from now on is going to be pure speculation. I don't know how CTWC operates with marketing or any of that, because I don't work for them. You know, I have my own ways of thinking about reaching out to partners and who I would consider for my tournaments, who I have considered. Like, it's definitely an entirely different process, not only because of size, but also just because, you know, I believe our scene and their scene view money very differently at this point. Honestly surprised I have not been reached out to by Coinbase. I mean, we don't really know if they have or not. CTWC has just announced partners during events before. Given their viewership, honestly, Coinbase probably should have targeted them by now. Just knowing what I know about who Coinbase works with. Also, crypto's kind of like taking a dump, or has been taking a dump for the past few months. So perhaps Coinbase is trying not to sign on any new deals. They might just be trying to finish their Smash contracts. Because Coinbase has liked the Smash scene a lot. They really have liked them. Like the past 3, 4, 5 Beyond the Summit events have had title Coinbase sponsorships. And Beyond the Summit's a company that I follow closely for inspiration. I really like their work. Just to put anything to rest, no, Puzzle Kingdom will not ever be sponsored by Coinbase. So there you go. There's definitely a creed of people that would be like, you know, oh, you're turning down a lot of money. That could help the scene, but also like, I'm in the stance where, like, I want the money to come from an ethical source. I don't think crypto is ethical money. Yeah, Amy basically put exactly what I was going to say, you know, into words faster than I even could. Also, yeah, too many miners, definitely. And I also think that crowdfunding is... I think a lot of TOs are way too scared of crowdfunding to increase their prize pools. Like, do you know what's crazy? Square One had 2% of the viewership of Shine, but 50% of the total prize pool for Melee. Or I might be thinking of the wrong tournament. Oh no, Pound. Okay, Pound's what I was thinking of. Pound had like 40 or 50,000 viewers and a $6,000 prize pool. Square One had 1,000 grand finals and had a $3,000 prize pool. Just think about that. That's fucking mad, honestly. Yeah, the support is insane. There's also, like... It's also just, like... Using merch to boost your prize pool is pretty incredible. Because I think it's a pretty no-brainer decision, like, rather than selling, in PK's case, like, a $20 shirt or a $10 keychain. I sell like a $25 shirt and a $15 keychain, or a $13 keychain, and then you just put like 25% of the total product cost into pricing, and you'll find that something as simple as that is something that people are willing to pay for, and it goes a long way. And the only people in the Smash scene who have not been apprehensive to crowdfund their tournaments is, again, Summit. So, I don't know. Shoutouts to them. I just don't get why people are scared of it. Because it's like, by selling products you'd already be selling anyway, for a slightly more expensive price, you could be making the difference, especially in the FGC, of a player making a living and not being able to go for full time. Like, I want our scene to prosper as soon as it can. I cannot wait for the day, and I don't know how far we are from it, but I think next year we could get there to where, you know, potentially a Firestorm or a Blarg of the world could finally see a path to, like, I don't know, living off of the game. Like, of course it won't happen exactly, but I think we can get to a point where, like, it's gonna become semi-consistent. So, OSW is also a good contender, especially if they play more TEC, because TEC is, like, just gonna be the move. TEC is undoubtedly the move right now. As far as Modern Tetris tournaments. It's the place to be. Like, TEC over the next year is going to look very great. Enhance has done a number of things correct. That being, hiring people from the community to manage the community, and hiring pros of the game to design the game. Two very good things there. They also are hosting in-house competitive events, something that we haven't really seen done too much before. Also, very cool and poggers. Because it gives players more options and more stable options to compete, and it introduces new people who wouldn't necessarily pay attention to competitive into the more community competitive scene. I think rather than a like, I'll open TEC right now. I'll play. Hopefully my computer doesn't fry. But I think rather than the existence of TEWC hurting a tournament like Square One, I think it benefits it pretty solidly just by getting more kind of, I guess you could say the word normies, into paying attention to a Tetris tournament, and then they go around and they see something marketed like Square One. Because you pay attention, and then you have like, you have like this super major invitational tournament, and then you have like this kind of world championship thing that they have going on. I think it's good. And I do wonder what the next Square One looks like in terms of who pays attention to it. I wonder if more casuals will be interested this year. I'm basically wondering if we'll see growth in spite of rough drama. That has kind of been going on. But due to the fact that's over, it should look pretty good. I'm confident. I've talked about it a bit, and I've been keeping it on the download, but I am planning right now for the next one. And like, drama is inevitable, but we got like fucked hard over the summer. Okay. And I guess I could talk a bit about sponsors again. Because, I will say something. I have a pretty ambitious goal this year. And I think to some people who may not follow Tetris enough, it's not going to sound too ambitious, but it's pretty ambitious. I want to break even. This year. Or, well, not this year. It's technically next year, but, you know, next Square One, I want to break even. I'm not sure how much it's been spoken about publicly, but, you know, Square One was fucking expensive. And... what does that mean? It just basically means, like, we don't lose any money. I don't care to profit. If Square One this year ends up, like, profiting, I'd either set it aside just for future spending to make sure that if I have to go red on a future tournament, it's fine. Or give it back in pricing. And this year, I think merch will be... I think merch will be... probably a bit more lucrative, because we have things like jerseys now. We just have more items. Like, we have... since Square One happened, we have keychains and jerseys and... you know... hypothetically speaking, haven't even confirmed anything yet. There would be a new shirt with the new poster art. What kind of costs are there? It's all mainly, like, you know, since we're running online, there's no, like, venue or any physical cost. It's marketing and production. Which isn't necessarily needed. But for something like Square One, especially on its first year, it was absolutely necessary to cement its nobility. But yeah, Moose has been a bit more specific. Like, we paid Nuke for programming. You know, and Potato for drawing. And then, of course, like, the main poster artist. Other, like, miscellaneous expenses. Like, you know, website domain, hosting, etc. I think this year more could be accomplished in-house. Like, we already, because we got all of our tournament overlays reworked for Square One. I don't know if we'll need to go ground up again for specifically this event, but there are still components that need to be added for future events. And, you know, if Square One gets sponsored, it'd be better to take the hit now. Oh yeah, another cost, I don't know if we mentioned it, is like motion design. Because we had Glitchy transform the original Square One logo into a series of animated backgrounds. So that's just like another miscellaneous cost. And then you just have random things like paying for, you know, licenses for things. Yeah, Glitchy is like kind of a godsend existence of a human being for the Tetris community. Uh, they have such a wide range of like design skill. It's actually stupid. They like know how to rig 3D models, they know how to rig 2D animation, they can do graphic design, they do all sorts of motion design. They're even a programmer. Like, they just know a lot of shit. And they're very generous with like the kind of things they, I don't know, do. Like, if you guys saw Sakura Blend and you saw those battle transitions, Glitchy did fucking voice acting, which I still think is probably one of, I honestly, Musa Chet's gonna be like, bruh, alright, but I think that the coolest thing that we've ever done was those Sakura Blend stingers. And there are a lot of cool things that have been done, but those stuck out to me personally, man. Like, Sakura Blend itself was just also another interesting event, and also, you know, expensive. Because the big things do come at a cost. But I think it's definitely well worth it in the end. Honestly, ever since I started working as a part of PK, I have gained a ridiculous amount of like visual communication and design experience. It's not even funny. Like, if you talk to me in July of last year and you told me to make the Advent League branding, I would not have been able to do it. But I now finally had something passionate, or something that I was passionate about that challenged me, and that's just kind of a great way to learn. At least it is for me. Because it was the first time in forever that I had a drive to learn about media. And like, getting better at designing posters and on-stream assets and whatever. I don't think I was terribly bad before, I lacked going out of the box. Oops. I have no clue where to start with stuff like tournament overlays. Well, the best thing I can say is, if you want, at least for me, if I want to learn how to make something, I look at a lot of other things that are it. Like, if you saw like the visual language of Square One and its player, it's like its placards, player cards, um the straight up honest truth inspiration for that was Smash Summit 11, because Moose and I were having a hard time coming up with an idea to present the players in a clean way on an image, like fit their portrait, their flag, and their name all in one sort of kind of thing. It's gonna take a while to find this, so you guys are gonna get black screen for a while, but I'm trying to find the specific image that kind of sparked my inspiration. Also, have a good day, Jameson, man. Thanks for tuning in. Because there was one specific thing I suggested to Moose is there's like one specific image I suggested to Moose, and then we just got it. Like, we came up with the idea that we used. Main thing with tournament overlays is that I don't really know how they work with OBS. It depends. Pfizer versus Moderna crew battle. Oh my lord. They are very creative. I'll tell you that. Yeah, you can do that. There are also like the Wada versus Qualo crew battle. Dude, you know, something is telling me that this is a content opportunity. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's a content opportunity. We do need more. I think we just need Tetris crew battles. It's not like we need more. It's we need them in general. We need more fun content in general. Fun, cool analytic fact for any stat nerds: Tetris Jeopardy outperformed Reg Revolution PPT2. So there you go, I guess. People do seem to enjoy that kind of content. Tetris Jeopardy also did not have the strongest advertising run, so if I like made a poster and a trailer for it, it definitely would have banged hard. Just forget that I used like 8th grade classroom software to run it, and we're all good. Spoiler, I guess. We're running more game shows, and we're getting a custom extension. So we don't have to use 8th grade classroom software. Okay, for some reason Twitter isn't loading any content on the BTS Smash Twitter before November of 2021, which is great because I'll probably never be able to find the image that I'm talking about. It might have straight up just been this. Like, this could have just been it. Because the main takeaway was use a geometric shape and put the portrait hanging off of it. And then, you know, you got the, like... Then you got this result. Which I think for all things considered, looking at the original inspiration, we did We did a good job of being original with this. Let's see. Is there anything else to talk about, or can I just like do I just end it now? 'Cause I didn't plan to talk about anything more than the CTWC thing. But then I just started talking about production, and you know how I am. I could go on talking about tournaments for hours. It's actually crazy. I guess that's what happens when you make a passion out of something. One thing I've wanted to experiment with, I guess, is I guess I'll keep talking. I'll talk about things I want to do. One thing I want to do is I'm working right now on 2 tournaments that are for games that are not Tetris or Puyo, but are also not the same game. I'm adding 2 puzzle games to Puzzle Kingdom. Or I'm going to attempt to add one, and I'm adding the other. The first one is Pedal to Pone, yes, because I made a kind of I made that kind of subtle announcement. Do I play the game? No. Do I know people who play it and can help me? Yes. Just like how I don't play Puyo really, but I've watched Puyo and I know Puyo people who can like give me direction if I need to like build a rule set. And then the other one was basically just announced. I don't know if you guys saw it. Let me see if there's a Yeah. You guys caught my blood. I don't know if I can show that specific image. Because the character has just ever so slightly revealing clothing. But yeah. Magical Drop 6. The Rinto brother, you cannot do this, dude. You just like you cannot be doing this right now. Just search Magical Drop 6 on Twitter. Yeah, well, yeah, there it is. It's in the trailer. I'm gonna show it. I just didn't want to show the image on screen for too long. I don't know what Twitch is like these days, but honestly, I shouldn't have been worried because pools, hot tubs, and beaches, my friends. Played this game one time because I was looking for puzzle games on it. So, a lot of people like this game. And it also has online versus multiplayer. The make or break for a Puzzle Kingdom tournament existing on Magical Drop 6 is if it has a spectator mode. I do plan on seeing if I can contact a dev and see if they're willing to tell me anything. But you know, we are supposed to be more than just Tetris, and especially more than just Tetris, but well, especially more than Tetris and Puyo. So these are my 2 gateways in, because there's also a Panel de Pone like game in development on Steam, as well as this, which is coming out in the winter. So this is kind of a good opportunity, kind of came together at the right time. What do we use to make tournament overlay things? Puzzle Kingdoms is done with HTML and a lot in an open source CG library called NodeCG. Like TAWS and for galactic stuff, I used a thing called Shield Breakers. It was made for like Smash and FGC tournaments. But that one's more easily modifiable, and you got Ezra. She's being goated again and dropping a link. But that's the easier tool to use. NodeCG, you can in theory do more, but it is more difficult to learn because you need to know like actual JavaScript and CSS and all that. You can get away with not knowing much with shield breakers and still make decent looking stuff. You just can't animate anything. But you can get by with using either. Pardon me. But you can truly get by with using either, and you can still make a fine looking tournament. Like, truthfully. But you can just use different things depending on your needs. You can get the hang of shield breakers really quickly. You're just limited with how much you can do in terms of like any animation and customization with it. But it's harder to build like a truly custom shield breakers overlay. I feel like I took a lot out of it with like the Galactic Versus screen. Like loading in PFPs. And all of that. Like that pushed what is known about it in its documentation. Now, Shieldbreaker is really just a controller for a library called CreateJS. So if someone actually bothered to learn more about how CreateJS works, they could probably do some pretty powerful things with it. The problem is there's probably a negative amount of documentation on how to make it work. So it would basically have to be someone like bashing stones together until they made it work. And at that point, it's probably more worth it to learn like NodeCG or work with another computer graphic platform. Okay, this reminds me of something. My dad asked me today what a furry was. And this is a wildly off-topic story, but I feel like we can talk about it. This is just for fun. All right. So basically, at work, there's a discussion going on where my dad works, and what happened was one of my father's coworkers is a hockey coach at a local high school, and one day the coach went into the locker room, and they saw a person in they saw like a player in the locker room like acting like a cat, and they're licking their hands and stuff, and like he didn't know what a furry was, so he asked his coworkers about it, and then he asked the other students. Apparently everyone on the team except the coach knew about this, and this just caught him by surprise. And then his coworker talked to my dad about it, and he had no clue what it was. So he asked my stepmother, and she knew what like a I'd say a more traditional, or not more traditional, just like a more tame, I guess. I don't know what to put it. Like, just kind of more of like a cosplaying furry was, and then I don't know. I told my dad like, yeah, it gets a little bit deeper than just wearing costumes and going to conventions. Uh, and then I don't know. It just kind of shook his world. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I guess if I really want to go there, it's like the less. I mean, this is. I'm not sure what the term is for it. You should get what I mean. It's just like they're not. Yeah, NSFW. I was gonna say sexual, but I just yeah, basically the more wholesome ones. Like they're. Shut up. But there was just like this is the more wholesome ones. Good time to drop by. What's up, Deep? And Deep, welcome. We're talking about how my dad learned what a furry was today. Just high quality, great discussions here on the stream. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of him too. And then my dad was just like, "Yeah, man, do what you want, but I wouldn't do it in front of my hockey coach." I was just like, "Yeah, I mean." I'm not really sure what to think about the story I heard today in the car that I have now relayed to all of you. Named furry Rip Bogo 14.183. Oh man. Funnily enough, the furry or the that player who was in the locker room was actually the best player on the high school hockey team. So there you go. I don't really know what to say. They are truly one for the books. Let's see, is there anything else I can run my mouth about? Guarantee there's some furry hockey art out there. Like and these are the school's colors too. Look at that. There they are. Shoutouts to the hockey player. Moose, you don't like you. I don't know if Moose like is aware. I don't use incognito for anything I search. If someone tells me to search something mildly suspicious, I just don't care. Cause you know, I've got my friend and pal up here, and I don't deal with the ads. It just kind of is how it is. Whatever, into. Yes, yeah, the CTWC partnered with a shady company, and they're trying to like erase any history of it happening. That is dedication. I mean, I don't care too much. Like, I only live once in this world, and you know, like, I have some things bookmarked in my browser, dude. Like, we live and learn. And when will you make commentary cheap again? Oh shit. I'd look up and I see the line of edges. So I'm actually planning something. I wanna You're supposed to mean that. I should do VA. I don't know. Maybe maybe the Fun Puzzle Kingdom. I'll just start doing voice acting. I will be the worst male lead in your favorite slice of life anime dubs. Moose, this is probably more safe for work than any other visual novel. I have in fact played this game. So there's a fun fact for you. I did actually play the game. Did I discover this on my own volition? No. Take a guess at who told me about it. Moving on from that, I'll let that thought kind of brew in your head for a minute. I had an evil plan to see what would happen if I did a visual novel subathon during the week of Thanksgiving, where I start with like a more traditional game and then I go through whatever's in my itch.io bundle. I believe that your voice should be dead by the end. No. Like I'd get people. I just realized I've left that up for a very long amount of time. My voice probably would be dead by the end, but it would be all worth it. Anyways, I'm just talking about ideas I've had. So maybe during the week of Thanksgiving, you did Animeru's fanfiction without flinching. Fun fact, reason why I did Animeru's fanfiction without flinching, I watched portions of it be written. So there you go. I kind of knew what I was expecting, but also, like, I don't know. I could sit and like dead monotone read some like pretty weird stuff. So I gotta commit to the bit. Hello, SW. You're in for the highest quality of my stream discussions. But yeah, I'd probably do it. Basically, my plan was to start with DDLC Plus, and then keep going, and have the games get slightly more odd and odd as time goes on. And then when I sleep, I plan to have someone else come on and play a different line of marathon games. How is DDLC least odd? Or should I say more mainstream to less mainstream? Where does KFC Dating Sim fall? I've played that on stream before. It was before I was known in the Tetris community, but I've played it on stream before. I'll do it again. One of my first interactions with John was actually playing the KFC Dating Sim. I will show you guys one that I've really been looking forward to. I don't know if it's allowed on Twitch. So, a bit of trivia for those who used to for those who may not know. I used to play Dead by Daylight. And the publisher came out with this wonderful video game. And I now have an excuse to play it. Dead Ass by Daylight. That's what they should have called this game. Dead by Daylight. Similar to Undertale. Yes. Now, okay, I should not scroll down to the reviews. Because I read the reviews before. They're pretty down bad. Similar to Undertale because it has a lot of text. Oh my god. There's just a screenshot for you. Dwight. Oh, okay. It's just going to show all of them then. Alright. But yeah, there's a bit of a taste of what I might be getting myself into. That game has been around for a long time, by the way. It was interesting at first because like how does like a horror survival game get ported into like a booby dating sim? It's not even really a booby dating sim. There are more dudes than girls in it. You can make anything a dating sim. Tetris, Tinder, am I right, fellas? I do have rolled out. Yandere Simulator. Um, I'm sorry, Derb, but I have some, I have some unfortunate news for you, my friend. Uh, that's not happening, dude. I think they made a ding some of my universities. Mitsu, do you have the build for that? Can you send it to me for the marathon? I'll play it. But yeah, to anyone who was looking forward to Yandere Sim in the Edge marathon stream, my bad, but that's not happening unless you know we move over to YouTube gaming. What are those game names? I mean, it's what you'd expect to be banned from Twitch, or not, depending on how you view Twitch.tuvalu as a service. But yeah, if you want to see me play visual novels, you can join my Discord. Rinto brother. Rinto brother. Not like this. No, no, no. Microsoft Flight Sim, but you do some barrel rolls and shit. I see. Maybe if you raise enough in the subathon, I can drop like 5 racks on a flight simulator. If I challenge her into the PVT first to 50, why would Sakura Blend be so fucking true, Azura, dude? So fucking true. Oh no. No, 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 no. Not like this. Most where as someone told me to play Yandere Simulator, and I pulled up the list of banned games on Twitch. And there were some things there. There's a game series that is named a certain way, and Sakura. What I feel like that would be like allowed. But man, yeah, it's basically an itch.io bundle marathon. I'll just throw in other games. Um, because why not? Yeah, I think they're all like weird games. I'll put it that way. They're weird. But yeah, I think I don't know what else I could possibly drag on about. I might stop stream soon. Illegal online casino gambling stream, EdgeTE, sponsored by Stake.com, even though if it was legal gambling, he still couldn't gamble because he's a minor. Oh, dude, wait. All right, yeah, let's raid Modest. Shoutouts for them coming on Tetris Jeopardy, commentating my tournaments. Real OG. So yeah, be sure to go over there and support them. Join the good old Discord if you want to learn more about the VN marathon. I actually do plan on working on it. I made a schedule. I have about 16 hours of. Okay, we're about to forward a raid. What's up, Jeremy? But yeah, we're raid Modest. But I guess now that hold on. Let me get all the rated viewers in here now. I redid the raid, so maybe they'll get pushed in. An impromptu PC coaching session by Holify. Let's go. But yeah, VN thing will be going on. I think I'm actually gonna do it now. I have to flesh out the schedule. I don't know how long it's gonna last or cap it with. Yeah, what should the raid message be? Yeah. We'll roll with that. Just because Moose said so. But alright, I'll see y'all over there. Have a fun time. Adios.